close together. Wanna make your body mine through the night. Hot and sweet through the night. Let's get out fast and slow. I wanna get to know you. I know a place where we can go. It's just around the corner. And I say, oh, it's a night we'll both remember. Oh, sweet surrender. Oh, we're moving close together. Wanna make your body mine. And I say, oh, it's a night we'll both remember. Oh, sweet surrender. Oh, we're moving close together. Wanna make your body mine through the night. Ooh, ooh, yeah, baby. I wanna make your body mine. Wanna make your body right. Make your body mine through the night. It's a night we'll both remember. Oh, hot and sweet. Oh, it's a night we'll both remember. Oh, hot and sweet. Oh, hot and sweet. You're so fine, oh lady. Let your body take control. You're on my mind, baby. Just move a little closer. And I say, oh, it's a night we'll both remember. Oh, sweet surrender. Oh, we're moving close together. Wanna make your body
everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Monday, and I missed Friday's show, and I never got to make it up because we went out after our court case and went day drinking, and then we did it again Saturday morning. For those of you who were here for the trail stop stream, that was quite a bit of fun, but and very random. And anyway, so tons of news over the weekend, lots of stuff to catch up on. Also, there's a commission now about a certain event that people like to call an insurrection. There's going to be a Gold Star Commission, Gold Star panel, an investigatory thing. You know the thing.
You know the thing.
And we'll talk about that. Talk about some of the breaking news, if there's any. And I got all kinds of tabs. In fact, today, I already have the tabs set up in the, oh, shoot. Except I took them down. Okay, never mind. I'll have to do it at the end of the show. It's 5:13. Today's 5:17. I will have to change that link. Anyway, it'll be a good show. I hope you're ready. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawgKnight. And stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet, and welcome back to the PDawgKnight channel. It is Monday, the 17th of May, 2021. Yes, taxes should be done today. I forgot that the 15th was on a weekend, so you got till today. If you haven't finished them up, you got to turn them in today and send the check. I do have my cup of reparations coffee in hand with the bad light shimmer off of it. But anyway, I hope you all had a good weekend. I certainly did. Again, we did our Saturday trail stop stream from one of our favorite watering holes, and Lady Boomer and I hung out there with our friends Sarah and Chantel and just had a good old time. And it's kind of funny and kind of different than what we normally do on the channel. And hope that those of you who popped in for at least some period of time had a good time. So let's get into what's going on from the weekend. And I'm going to start with what the name of the show is, because over the weekend, or I don't know, it was over the weekend, maybe it's Friday, I don't know. Congress has decided. Oh no, did I accidentally get rid of the link? Yeah, I think I did. Oh shit. Anyway, Congress has decided to put together a panel, a commission on the events of January 6th. You know, the selfie insurrection. And some lawmakers have they finally broke down and said, okay, we're gonna humor them, right? Because it was I gotta tell you, I've never heard of an insurrection. So they keep calling it an insurrection, right? But how can you have an insurrection without any weapons, without any? It's silliness that they're calling it this. I'm sorry I'm not watching. I'm trying to find the article that I accidentally closed. It's complete and utter nonsense. And so here we go. I found it. A little bit of back up. Make sure I get it in the tabs today. So here's the deal. You know the thing. All right. Got to put it here and fix it. All right, here we go. So one of the Republican congressmen has caved on the Democrats' 9/11 style commission to investigate the Capitol riot, aka the insurrection. I'll say hi in a minute. GOP Representative John Katko, the ranking member of the committee, led negotiations with the Democrats to reach a consensus about the commission. His support for the commission is being marketed by the corporate media as bipartisan support. Yes, see, if you get one Republican to vote for something, it's bipartisan report. But when several Democrats vote against something that the Democrats want or vote for something the Republicans propose, oh no, that's not bipartisan support. But one Republican means bipartisan support. Anyway. But the New York representative is one of few Republicans in the House who voted to impeach former President Trump in the second time Democrats targeted him. Catco also blames Trump for causing the insurrection at the Capitol by deliberately promoting, by deliberately promoting baseless theories suggesting the election was somehow stolen, the president carried a combustible environment of misinformation, disenfranchisement. How is that disenfranchisement? Get the fuck out of here. And division. When this manifested in violent acts on January 6th, he refused to promptly and forcefully call it off. That is a lie. Putting countless lives in danger. Really? Really? Countless lives in danger. Interesting wording. Anyway, they proposed originally to have an 11-member commission with 7 Democrats, while Republicans would only have 4 members. They ended up working it out that it would be a 10-person commission with equal partnership. Equal partisanship. So they're gonna balance it out with 5 and 5, and I hope they put Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz. Although Matt Gaetz might have some issues, so I don't know about him. But anyway, then over the weekend, there's been some video that's come out of a video in particular of the insurrection that shows that not so fast. The video shows U.S. Capitol Police gave protesters the okay to enter. They have it on video. A newly obtained video shows United States Capitol Police officers speaking with several January 6 protesters, including Jacob Chansley, the so-called Q shaman, inside the Capitol that afternoon. One officer identified in the video and confirmed by charging documents as Officer Keith Robichaud appears to tell Chansley Group they won't stop them from entering the building. Quote, "We're not against something. You need to show us something. No attacking, no assault. Remain calm," Robichaud warns. Chansley and other protesters instruct the crowd to act peacefully. "This has to be peaceful," Chansley yelled. "We have a right to peacefully assemble." Here's the video.
Everybody, listen up. The police here are willing to work with us and cooperate peacefully, like our First Amendment allows. Gather more Americans under the condition that they will come and gather peacefully to discuss.
I really wonder if I would get in trouble for showing this. I don't even know if you can show this on YouTube, but it's kind of the truth, right? But who knows?
We're going to be heard. Everybody, this must be peaceful.
This has to be peaceful. We have the right to peacefully assemble.
Okay, so there's that video. I'm not sure what to make of that. To be honest with you, I just don't. I think maybe, just maybe, some of the people who got charged with, who've only been charged with trespassing, could that possibly get them off the hook? I'm curious what you think. Let me know in the chat. Do you think that could get the ones who have been charged with trespassing off the hook? Such an insurrection. The great selfie insurrection. How about you? All right. That's why I named the stream what I named it. There's not really that the Commission for Cooperation, because the Capitol Police cooperated with the people who wanted to have their voices heard. And that's why. Now that explains a lot, though. That explains a whole lot, right? Because you know how there's the photos of them coming into the Capitol in a real orderly manner between the ropes. Everyone's just looking around, walking in. Maybe that's why there's pictures of them doing that. They didn't come in there and storm the Capitol once they got inside. They stopped, talked to the Capitol Police. They said, hey, as long as you're peaceful and don't try to hurt anybody, in the immortal words of Bob Barker, come on down. Actually, that's not Bob Barker. What's the announcer's name from The Price is Right when Bob Barker was there? It was Johnny something, I think. And that's why I always say, play the intro, Johnny, because I can't remember what the hell his name was. But anyway, come on down. You're the next contestant on the selfie insurrection. Yeah, anyway. All right, I got a lot of news to get through, so I should probably wrap that topic up. Good. Let's say good morning to everybody in the chat, because, just that's what I do. So first in the chat today, now I don't know. I don't know. All right, the first person who was here on the stream, ready to go, was Select a Boy. Oh, where did that go? Where the hell did that go? Oh, here. Yeah, boy. Select a Boy. Thank you so much. You get the bell for being first. Also, good morning, GunFox61, who is also here, our Discord administrator. Also, good morning, Ronan Wolf. Ronan and Maddie are driving to Waco, Texas today, as I've been informed, and that's someplace they can surely get fuel. Anyway, Stan, how you doing? And James PFP, Jen T, Somnambul Nation, Attack Alpaca, X Bubba Hotep, Tyler F, good morning. Also, Humble Clay, said Jonathan Peterson. Jonathan, I think I saw you already. Didn't you tweet out the show? I could have sworn I saw that. Oh, no, that was Justin Anderson. Well, anyone who's helped tweet out the show, shared it on most social media, I greatly appreciate you. In fact, why don't you do that right now while you're thinking about it? There's two things you can do at any time during the show that I'd appreciate. Hit the like button and share the stream. All right. Continuing on, also good morning to King on Common Law, Texas AG 007. Nice to see you. Now that I know how to say that, Tarai Deos, how you doing? I think I saw, who did I see there? I saw Logan somebody, didn't I? Well, I know I see T-Ball, I see Special Can Acid, Green Badger Outdoors, and Maddie, of course, and Advocatus Diabli, the Devil's Advocate. And I thought I saw, did I see Logan somewhere in here? Maybe Logan's not here. Okay. I'm just hallucinating. But I know I have not taken any of Lady Boomer's edibles. Just saying. Okay. Also first sponsor of the day, X Bubba Hotep.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day.
With his 357 pointed right at me, it says, quote, but people, he says, but people died that day. By people, I mean person who was on the insurrection side. How is this a talking point for them? You know what? They're going to try to milk it for all it's worth because, according to the President of the United States, this is the worst attack on democracy since the Civil War. Well, is it now? All right. Oh, now that we got another donation and sponsor of the show. Thank you, Tarai Deos. And Tarai Deos,
you are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day.
Dropping a quince, even though I know quince is a fruit and doesn't mean five in any language, saying, I went through extremist prevention training as put on by the Department of Defense this weekend. Oh my God. Interestingly enough, the only extremist groups they were noted were white supremes and militias. It was very governmenty in its message. Oh, I know, because, none of the people actually, smashing windows and tearing up businesses in Portland, they don't count as extremists. Nobody in part 2 of the group of BLM, not the actual people advocate protester types, but the first peripheral group that just likes to come in and break shit and whatnot, and then the third peripheral group who basically is there to grab an extra pair of Nikes. More like the second and third group. No, they're no domestic terrorists. No. They're just peaceful protesters. So I don't know. Thank you, Try Davis, for sponsoring this show. I appreciate you. And there you go. Sean DW and Jim Beam, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Did I get everybody? I think I did. Okay, at least that's who I've gotten so far. If you're here, I'll say hi. I promise. All right, let's move on to the next story because I just have a bunch of random news stories, and then we got another set of stories that are all related. So let's just go down the line here. Let's see. Probably should put it on the screen for you. Speaking of domestic terrorism, the FBI has reclassified the congressional baseball shooter as a domestic violent extremist. Oh my gosh, we should probably start paying attention to anyone who supports Bernie Sanders, right? The FBI has classified the 2017 congressional baseball shooter a domestic violent extremist, doing away with the suicide by cop theory many victims or witnesses said was unrealistic. Oh, you think? The reclassification came after survivors pressured Okay, why did they have to pressure? Anyway, Representative Brad Winstrup of Ohio to change the initial classification he made when meeting with the FBI Director Christopher Wray. I think he certainly qualifies as a domestic extremist. Our intelligent law enforcement apparatuses require accuracy, precision, and justice. I'm encouraged that the FBI has updated its classification of that nearly catastrophic event to reflect the actual motives of the assailant. Well, of course it was terrorism. It was politically motivated violence. That's what terrorism is. I said that like that so YouTube would probably not hear me say the word terrorism so many times. So anyway, Hodge, that guy, he shot more than 100 rounds at the congressman. It's just pure luck that nobody died that day. Steve Scalise obviously almost did, but anyway, so good. They reclassified that. Let's move on. There has been a merger in the entertainment news world. AT&T Discovery agreed to merger of CNN and other media assets, the Time Warner assets, I should say. AT&T has agreed to merge with its Warner Media division with Discovery Communications Inc., creating a streaming giant to compete with Walt Disney Company's Disney Plus and Netflix. The combined company will own channels including CNN. This is CNN. HBO, TNT, TBS, Animal Planet, Food Network, and the Warner Brothers franchise. Under the terms of the deal, which is structured as an all-stock transaction, AT&T would receive $43 billion with a B in cash and debt, with its shareholders controlling 71% of the new company. So basically, this is kind of a takeover, so to speak. Discovery shareholders would own the remaining. They're taking over the Discovery side. Discovery shareholders would own the remaining 29%. Both AT&T and Discovery board of directors have approved the merger, which must be given the green light by Discovery shareholders. If approved, the transaction is expected to close in mid-2022. So Brian Stelter will have kind of a new boss, I guess. I don't know. Good morning, Renee Mayette. How you doing? Moving on. Now here's Twitter again. Twitter doing its thing. And this is against a politician. They suspended a Spanish politician temporarily because of him not being woke enough. Francisco Jose Contreras, deputy to Spain's far-right Vox party, was locked out of his Twitter account for 12 hours last week. Why was he locked out, do you say? Well, he made the cardinal sin of saying that a man cannot get pregnant because they have no uterus or eggs. Okay. For the YouTube people, I'm just reading the sheet here. It's the news, guys. Don't yeet me. Contreras' comments were in response to an article he shared on the social media platform about a transgender male who announced that they were a father after giving birth to a baby girl. Contreras said in a Facebook post on May 11th that he had received a message from Twitter which informed him that he had violated its policies on hate speech and remarks. Quote, "The hateful tweet I was forced to delete was one that said a man cannot get pregnant. A man has no womb or eggs." Contreras wrote in response to the move, "You can see this is already fascist biology. Next time try 2 + 2 = 4. Yeah. And then, but here's what, according to Twitter, Contreras violated its policy against material that, listen to this, material that threatens, harasses, or fosters violence against other people based on the basis of race, ethnic origin, nationality, sexual orientation, gender identity, religion, age, and disability or disease. Now, I cannot figure out how Twitter, how exactly does saying that violate the policy against material that threatens, harasses, or fosters violence against other people? Stating an opinion is not it's not threatening, harassing, or fostering violence. It's just stating an opinion, which, oh my God, God forbid there's biology that might tell you. Now, maybe if he would have said male and female, because a transgender man is a female, but I don't even know if you're allowed to say that anymore, because we're trying, supposedly you can differentiate between gender and sex, and apparently, I don't know. Maybe it's just because he didn't say a female, whatever, male. I don't know. This shit's getting crazy. Moving on. Let's go to this one. New York, from the New York Post. CNN has cut ties with freelancer who once tweeted praise for Hitler. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to say that word on. It's just crazy in the news today. Thank you to Ryan Deus, who's saying, "I'm starting to believe there are only rational and irrational people. Democrats and Republicans are just a label that encompasses both types." Oh, hell yes to the yes. That is so true. That is so true. Thanks for the juice via Streamlabs. I appreciate it, Tarai. So anyways, they cut ties with this freelancer. So this is amazing. Freelance CNN contributor reportedly tweeted praise for Hitler on Sunday amid the ongoing hostilities between Israel and Hamas. Oh, he did it again. Oh my gosh. In a since deleted post, Adil Raja, a journalist based out of Pakistan, wrote, "The world today needs a Hitler." The Washington Examiner reported Raja's freelance for CNN since 2013, according to his LinkedIn account, working on several stories for the network. At that time, the report said, after learning of the post, CNN cut ties with Raja. Well, at least CNN, this is CNN, did the right thing. How about that? How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Real quick. Hi again. This is me. This is my face in full large beauty of screen size and shit, whatever I'm trying to say here. Good morning also to Humble Clay. How are you doing? Spambot22, welcome. Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadians in the house. And Infamous One, how you doing? All right, let's move on. Because like I said, I got a lot of tabs, and these are, by the way, every story I read today, every story that I mention, or even ones I don't get to, will be in a single link in the description down below at the end of the show. I might even put it in the chat at the end if you want to click it then, or click it now, or, well, you can't click it now because it's not there, but it will be there at the end of the show. By the end of the outro, I will have updated the description to put all these tabs in one single link in the description. All right. And good morning, Chicago Mike. What's happening, my friend? All right, let's get back to my list, because the list is pretty long, and I want to make sure I get to all of it. Apparently, more news over the weekend. Police are investigating an attack on a military vet who was beaten, called a white bitch, bitch being one of my favorite words of all time, even though I don't necessarily, when I use the word bitch, it is absolutely gender neutral. But anyway, she was beaten and called a white bitch in a parking lot argument. Louisville police are investigating an attack that happened on Mother's Day. On Mother's Day, too! Mother's Day, military vet, poor white woman. Got to take care of the what do you call them? Middle-aged white woman. The Moz. Anyway, Pamela Ashett Brown was attacked at a Kroger grocery store parking lot after a car was blocking her from leaving the parking lot, according to Wave 3 News. I get out and say, do you guys need help? And she said, fuck you, you white bitch. I said, hold on, you didn't even know me, Brown said. I said, that's fine. If you don't need anything, that's fine. I'll get back in the car. Ashlet Brown, a disabled military veteran, said her attackers were 4 young black women in a Dodge Challenger or Charger, according to Wave 3 News. Do they even make, oh yeah, they do make Challenger. They make the new version of the Challenger. She claimed they threw a cup and then proceeded to assault her. Strangers broke up the incident. Ashlet Brown told Wave 3 News she suffered a broken nose in the incident. They beat the shit out of her. Holy crap. Okay, interesting. If you the Wave 3 article is also going to be in the tabs if you're interested. There we go. They were beating me. Woman cracked sugar. Wants help from Louisville police. Well, maybe you should just not talk to people who are behind your car, and they won't beat the shit out of you. God, it's insanity. Good morning, Thomas Cleaver. How you doing? What's up? All right, let's keep going. So anyway, I've got both the what's this one? This is the I bought the Daily Caller and the whatever this is, Wave News 3 from Louisville articles. They'll both be in the tabs. Let's keep going. We got another one. Oh, did you hear about this? I heard about this over the weekend. The Space Force commander has been relieved of duty over comments criticizing Marxism and critical race theory. This world is upside down. Insanity. A U.S. Space Force commanding officer was fired from his post on Friday after expressing concerns on a podcast that Marxist ideologies are becoming prevalent in the U.S. military. Yes, if you know anything about critical race theory, it is a Marxist ideology. And you know what? I just don't get it. Oh, no, dude. Oh, no, you're just trying to get me in trouble, Gun Fox, but I greatly appreciate the super chat here and Gun Fox 61.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor
I
of the
am
Day.
not going to say how much it is because this gets me in trouble. If you really want to know, it's there in the chat. No. Disfault, start the crusade and purge the heretics. Aye. That's some spicy meatballs right there. Thank you so much, though, for being a regular sponsor of the show. I appreciate you so much. You don't even know. All right, let's get. Oh, good God. Anyway, Lieutenant Commander Matthew Lohmeyer, commander of the 11th Space Force Warding Squadron at Buckley Air Force Base in Colorado, was relieved from duty over a loss of trust and confidence in his ability to lead. Really, for having an opinion on something. Good Lord. Space Force spokesman told military.com this decision was based on public comments made by Lieutenant Colonel Lohmeyer in a recent podcast. Lieutenant General Whiting has initiated a command-directed investigation on whether these comments constituted prohibited partisan political activity, the spokesman added. Really? Was he mentioning the administration? What was he doing? This is just nonsense. He felt so strongly about it, it is ruining our military. He wrote a book about it. Okay, this is Jack Prosobiec talking about him. Space Operations Command has now placed him under investigation. Now, that's a good, holy shit, is that a good-looking dude? I'm not even into guys, and that's a good-looking man. Look at this couple, man. Look at them. That's a beautiful couple right there. I'm sorry, I'm like I'm kind of dwelling on that, but damn, that's a good looking couple right there. Anyway, Lomer earlier this month self-published a book titled Irresistible Revolution, Marxism's Goal and Conquest and the Unmasking of the American Military, which is described as a timely, bold contribution from active duty Space Force Lieutenant Colonel who sees the impact of a neo-Marxist agenda at the ground level with our armed forces. Okay, and how is that what did they describe this as? Constituted prohibited partisan political activity against what party? Marxist. Oh shit, the Democrats. Never mind. All right. Anyway, it's bullshit. They shouldn't have got rid of him. All right, now I got a few PJ Media articles. What's his name? Buck, Chad, Brett? I don't know, but look at that guy. Look at this couple. Damn, look at how, that's a lovely couple. I got to tell you, Marty just must mean the beast. I hope he does. I don't know. Wait, what? Damn, Marty makes note to up his swinger party. No, that's not my style, but thanks anyway. All right, before we move on, thank you, ex-Bubba Hotep, with the greatest caliber of an AR that I would ever want, a 556, who says, poor man lost his job and career over him having common sense. Scratching my head. Ain't that the damn truth, ex-Bubba Hotep? Thank you for sponsoring the show, and I appreciate your continued support. And I did change Gun Fox over there, finally. Yes, you are the new stream. I already did that. Anyway, hello, Scrappy Pirate. Good morning, Dom O'Leary. Nice to have you here, and so on and so forth. And also, real quick, I'm going to take a quick moment to say I will make up for the stream Friday because I'd like to get my numbers in a certain order. So I'll probably have an extra stream over the weekend. Plus, we are going to, Lady Boomer loves doing the Saturday Trail Stop streams. They're really just weird and just out there, and just sometimes we just have different guests. Oh, it was so cool though. So, my favorite Bloody Mary mix is this brand called Spooky, and it's a guy in my the town I live in, created the product, and it sells in about 27 states through Total Wine and a couple, several other places that distribute it. And I'm at the bar on Saturday during a Trail Stop stream, and I'm talking to the guy next to me drinking a Bloody Mary, and he said, which Bloody Mary mix you use? I said, I use the Spooky. I love this stuff. They have like 4 or 5, well, they have 6 varieties, right? And this is the guy who created the brand right next to me. His name's Chris. Real cool dude. He lives in my town, and he hangs out at that bar, and I just never met him there before. And he's the creator of it. And he's also now, so he sells that in about 20 or 22 states, 27 states, I don't know, mostly around the Midwest. And then now Jack's Links, the people, who's used Scott Squatch as their spokesperson and the meat sticks and jerky and shit like that. Jack's Links is coming out with their own Bloody Mary mix, a series of Bloody Mary mixes in several flavors. And Chris is also the one who's creating those. And so I'm like, dude, that's a cool story. So if you want to check out the stream, maybe I'll put a link or something to it. Anyway, also good morning to this pissed off Shih Tzu. Don't piss off the Shih Tzu. And Sarah, how you doing, my friend? Nice to have you back. Okay. Keep the Trail Stop stream. You like? Okay, Humble Clay likes the Trail Stop streams. Okay, cool. They have like 12 varieties. Yeah. Oh, you've seen it. Yeah, they do. And oh my God, they're so good. The dill pickle is really good. The sriracha is real good. They have a horseradish one that's really good. I mean, they're just fantastic. Fantastic brand. You got to try them if you're somewhere in the Midwest that has them. Go to a Total Wine. Although they're in a bunch of other different stores too, but Total Wine is the one that's really getting them out there. In fact, I think the first time I tried it, they were sampling it at Total Wine, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so good. I bought 2 bottles immediately. Yep. They have mojito, old fashioned, and pina colada mixes. Although I make my own old fashions. I'm pretty picky about old fashions, but they do have a really good pina colada mix too that they just came out with. So good call, Humble Clay. Thank you for reminding me. Where are we at? All right, here we go. Yeah, that couple is really good looking. I can't help it. They just look like a fucking ad for Top Gun or something. Anyway, so now more news. Joe Biden's at it again because he just is what he is, right? Biden fans the flame of black paranoia against cops during police week. Yes, it's police week, and Joe Biden, Joe Biden.
Come on, man.
President Joe Biden began the festivities of Police Week. Yes, that is Police Week, by praising officers for their devotion to their duty to the public. Every morning, our nation's enforcement officers pin on a badge and go to work, not knowing what that day will bring and hoping to come home safely, the president says in his official proclamation, before noting the impact of COVID-19 on the men and women in blue. As we recognize peace officers on Memorial Day week and Police Week, we honor those who lost their lives in the line of duty. So far, so good, right? And thank them on behalf of this grateful nation for their service, he says. Now, if he had stopped right there, he could have gotten away with some rather bland boilerplate praise for the nation's police officers. Oh, but he didn't stop there. He proceeded to feed black paranoia about officers by talking about the deep sense of mistrust in black communities when it came to the police, which actually, I gotta tell you, sort of. Because if you poll, they've done polls of African Americans in cities around the country, and 80% are really not in favor of the whole defund the police and bring less police around here. They want more police because shit's going sideways all around the country. But I digress. He continues. Anyway, this year, we also recognize that in many of our communities, especially black and brown communities, there's a deep sense of distrust towards law enforcement, a distrust that has been exacerbated by the recent deaths of several black and brown people at the hands of law enforcement. Okay. Maybe save that for the next speech, Joe. I'm just saying. And he just went on and on. Listen to this. These deaths have resulted in profound fear, trauma, pain, and exhaustion for many black and brown Americans. Again, you're perpetuating a moral panic about something that probably isn't anywhere near as, not even probably, it is not as near as big as we make it out to be. You know, it's oh God. Anyway, you can read the rest of that one on your own, but he can't let anything go by and save it for the next time he talks. Good morning, Mike Savage. Blarg. All right, let's keep going. And then, and also, there's a good article, PJ Media, which I'm not going to read, but I'm talking about Black Lives Matter versus black police chiefs. I'll just start at the beginning here. Systemic racism is doing a poor job of keeping black men and women out of law enforcement, but Black Lives Matter seems to be good at it. And, here's the thing. You know the thing.
You know the thing.
So you would think that Black Lives Matter would be not just spending money on educating people and maybe they bring in all this money, right? So are they doing anything to help police forces? Maybe having some help with training, or maybe because you say you want more people of color in the communities, you want people who look like you policing your communities. So maybe helping people who might be interested in it, or encouraging black people to go into that profession, and so that you can help police your own communities. No. All of this money that Black Lives Matter spends goes to black LGBTQ organizations, and really nothing other than, protesting the street, where religion doesn't cost them a whole lot. But they're not, instead of actually something that can help the thing that they're trying to stop, it don't happen. So anyway, they seem to be really good at keeping people out of law enforcement instead of bringing black people into law enforcement. If you want more people who look like you to be in law enforcement, maybe that should be your focus. Okay, training and helping police forces become, better at what they do and bringing more black people into. They don't do that. They keep people out. Listen, the police chiefs of Dallas, Seattle, and Rochester, New York, all of whom were black and 2 of whom were women, resigned after troubles with Black Lives Matter riots. Not the protesting part, the riot part. The chiefs of Portland, Louisville, Kentucky, and Atlanta, who were all white, resigned as well. And the racist system, quote unquote, replaced them with black chiefs, with Louisville new chief also being a woman. The bigoted good old boy system replaces black police chiefs as quickly as the woke BLM mob can take them down. 5 out of the 60 largest U.S. cities have black police chiefs or commissioners. This isn't good for people that make their living selling the myth of systemic racism, especially in law enforcement. How can cops be hunting black men when black people are in charge? Well, according to a certain sect of society, that's what they say they do. Anyway, and right now, plenty of officers of every hue, every melanin content, are leaving forces in droves, which is not helping black people in cities that are, have their little bit of crime issue. Hello, Mr. Yes. Nice to see you. So, and then say in this article, basketball legend Charles Barkley also believes that black, not white people are hurting black people. Yeah, you can't look out when you say that kind of shit, Charles, because they'll come after you. But, Charles don't give a shit. He's got his money and he's got his gig and he's having fun and he don't care. He can say what the hell he wants because this is America. Barkley says, we as black people never going to be successful, not because of you white people, but because of other black people. When you are black, you have to deal with so much crap in your life from other black people, Barkley said in 2014. Yeah, I remember that. For some reason, we are brainwashed to think if you're not a thug or an idiot, you're not black enough. If you go to school, make good grades, speak intelligent. It's sorry, I couldn't help it. Except he should have said intelligently. And don't break the law, you're not a good black person. It's a dirty, dark secret in the black community, he added. Anyway, they're as good as keeping black people out of the police forces as anyone else. Hello, Alone. What's happening? Always lost on nothing else. AKA Alone is in the house. Okay, moving on. So here's another. A university. We just talked about the lieutenant commander who got yeeted because of stating a biological fact, right? Science. She blinded me with science. Well, there's also a university that opens an investigation into a student who stated a biological fact. Oh boy. This one's not in the United States, however. So thank goodness for that. But hey, coming to a school near you, get ready for one of these cases. Abertay University in Dundee, Scotland has opened a formal investigation into a 29-year-old student, Lisa Keogh. I don't know how the Scottish say that name. A mother of 2, after she dared utter biological facts in a debate about transgender identity. The university is investigating her, quote, offensive, end quote, and, quote, discriminatory, end quote, comments. Keogh's crime, she said the same thing that little kid said. Women have vaginas. And argued that a biological male who had testosterone in his body for 32 years would be stronger than the average woman, even if he identified as female. Another student accused her of calling women the weaker sex. So the woman in question is a sexist. Keogh. Thank you, James PFP. Keogh. So in 2019, a biological man who identifies as a woman set new world records for the women's squat, women's bench press, and women's deadlift. Female Olympian Sharon Davies decried the unfair playing field, noting that a woman with female biology cannot compete. Am I allowed to state my opinion, YouTube? I think you guys know what I think about this because I think I've mentioned it once before. Anyway, Kia told the Times in London that she had been taking part in a video seminar about gender feminism and the law when she raised concerns about biological males, their sex, not their gender, who identify as transgender women, their gender, not their sex, competing in mixed martial arts. Oh, probably he's talking about, what's that gal's name that busted the chick's head open? Anyway, Fallon Fox. Anyway, when Keo first heard about the formal investigation, it didn't compute. I thought it was a joke. Yeah, it was. No, it was not. They were really investigating her. I thought there was no way the university would pursue me for utilizing my legal right to freedom of speech, she told the Times. Keo said the professor muted her during the debate, and afterward her fellow classmates heaped abuse on her. Oh. There's something wrong with the world today. I don't know what it is. Name the band. Let's see. I wasn't being mean, transphobic, or offensive. I was stating basic biological fact, which is backed by science. She blinded me with science. Oh, good Lord. So they're investigating her for stating, I mean, look, and again, she said male and female. That's sex. That's not gender, man and woman, even though there's not a whole, the distinction is new as of 1960 something, because there was someone who said that the difference between genderized and shit, and it all's gone haywired and haywired and whatever the hell else I can add to that sentence. Moving on, another PJ Media, again, it's pretty hot. Very good, Humble Clay. You get the bell, and congratulations. You got, oh no, Renee, no, Asan got it first. I'm sorry, I just noticed. So that was actually for Asan, who got the Aerosmith first. Yeah, very good, very good. Y'all are, you're paying attention. I like that. Moving on. Oh, what did I already move on? Oh no, I haven't. Here's another one. This is oh, and it's more, see, this is kind of the woke section of the news. And now, speaking of which, police officers have been banned from participating in the gay pride events in New York City to create safer spaces. New York City Pride announced that police and corrections officers would no longer be welcome to participate in pride events. The LGBT group claimed that it applied the ban in order to create safer spaces for marginalized groups. Don't you think LGBTQ cops might be members of the marginalized groups? The organization also said it would take steps to minimize police protection present at its events by hiring private security and other first responders who are not police. The sense of safety that law enforcement is meant to provide can instead be threatening and at times dangerous to those in our community who are more often targeted with excessive force and without reason. Organizers said in a press release, hey, do you think the LGBTQ police officers who are on the force, what do you think they're going to do? Take out their nightsticks and do nasty things to you? I don't know. Now from the New York Post, a recent nationwide reckoning of police violence inspired Heritage of Pride, the group that produces the event, to re-examine its relationship with the police, who were previously invited to march in the parade as it became more mainstream. Because they used to have, the LGBTQ police officers used to march in the parade, and then they had also protection from police outside parade to keep the nasty people away from the LGBTQ people. Now they're saying they don't want any of them there. So Detective Brian Downey, 41, of the president of the NYPD's Gay Officer Action Lead, said hundreds of members of the police department have been marching for nearly 4 decades in good faith and solidarity with the community. Goal was embraced by the community because it was viewed as agents of change. That was progress. It wasn't contention, Downey told Post Saturday night. Look, it's just like, Kind of like BLM not discouraging black people from being police officers. What the hell? Don't you want people in your community to have a sense of kinship with you and a sense of community with you? Nah, just because, oh, that bad just makes you bad and it makes us scared and we don't want, and good God, would you want them? What's wrong with you people? And by you people, I mean, what's wrong with you people? Yeah, I said you people. Not you guys watching, but the ones, you people over there that are not letting cops in the parade. It's just nuts. It's nuts. Nuts. All right, real quick, I'm going to take a short break here. But when I get back, we're going to keep going with the news. And 36 in the house, 26 likes. Hit the like button if you're thinking about it. Share the stream if you haven't done it already. And you can sponsor the show, become a sponsor by dropping a couple bucks in the tip jar used via Streamlabs or YouTube Super Chats. I will be right back after this message about what I just said. Hey everybody, it's me, Marty. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I hope you're enjoying the show. The Morning Night Live is sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please, if you have a moment, take time to share this stream by hitting that little arrow down below or up here if you're on a mobile. And please hit the like button. I know you like it if you're still here and you're still watching. And finally, if you want to support the show, you can do that through your donations and super chats, which are in the description down below. You can do that at Streamlabs link or at PDawgKnight.live. That every little bit helps. And thank you for watching. Now back to the show. Alrighty then, we're back. Thank you for watching my little commercial that I made. I got to make a new one though. There's a couple new things I'm doing here. Also, just a reminder that I do have a merch store. Not a whole lot of stuff in it, but you can get the Resist Fascism cups in the merch store. Either this design or the one with the X through Fauci's just garden gnome face. I do have some Fauci news coming up here too. All right. Oh, good morning, Justin Anderson. And Justin Anderson, thank you so much for tweeting out the show this morning. Greatly appreciated. Nice to have you here. Anyone else new show up? I haven't really seen. I haven't looked lately. I think I've got everybody or most of the people. And if you're lurking, please, if you're like, because you're driving or whatever you're doing or just doing some housework or whatever. Oh, Dom O'Leary, what's happening? If you're lurking, thanks. Enjoy the show. And if you're watching on replay, put a comment in the comment section. Or even if you're watching now, come back and put a comment in the comment section because my comment section is always kind of barren because I live stream instead of do videos. Most people put comments in videos, but not in live streams. I've said too much. What do you mean by you people? Yeah, exactly. Reminds me of Tropic Thunder. That's the funniest shit ever. Anyway, so BLM, I mentioned BLM earlier. Well, BLM co-founder Patrisse Cullors is in the news again. And this time because she's saying that she's lamenting white supremacy. Wait for it. In the housing market. Do you just feel the irony just swishing around your head right now? Just whoosh, 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 right? The woman who just in the last year bought 4 houses, pieces of real estate in various areas of the country, spending $3.6 million for 4 houses, laments white supremacy in the housing market. By the way, the house that she bought for herself in whatever that little suburb of LA, and the $1.6 million house in the hills, and there's a couple of acres and a guest house. Yes, that's in a 98% white occupied neighborhood. Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors shared a post on Instagram lamenting white supremacy in the housing market weeks after her multi-million-dollar housing portfolio was revealed. On the Instagram post, Cullors shared an NPR article about black home ownership levels. Right there. Black Americans and the racist architecture of home ownership. Well, funny, she was able to buy 4 homes in 4 different places, and 3 years on BitChute. Am I on BitChute for 3 years, or are you talking about you're on BitChute for 3 years? I have a BitChute channel, by the way. It's not used a ton, but I do post videos there when I make videos. I forgot to, the last couple of videos I forgot to post there. Anyway, good morning, Assassin's Directorate. Anyway, I'm just gonna let you dwell on that dripping irony by Patrice Cullors, and now we're gonna move on. Also, now we got some things going on in other parts of the country. There's an Ohio State researcher sentenced to prison for concealing ties to a Chinese spy program. Oh, isn't that special? Oh my God.
China is asshole.
The U.S. District Court sentenced a former Ohio State University medical researcher to prison for concealing his connections to a Chinese spy program from federal authorities. Zhang Zhaozheng, a professor of internal medicine who led research teams at both Ohio State and Penn State universities, hid his involvement in the Chinese Communist Party Thousand Talents program, which China uses to steal research from Western countries on applications to the national. Oh, I forgot to say that on his applications to the National Institute of Health, he was trying to get in Dr. Fauci's under Dr. Fauci's wing. Zhang also concealed his collaboration with a major Chinese research university. Federal authorities apprehended Zhang in May 2020 on a charter flight to Anchorage, Alaska, as he attempted to flee the United States for China. So he must have been known they were on his trail. And then he pleaded guilty in November to falsifying grant applications to the federal government to receive some $4.1 million in funding, which he planned to use to develop China's research on rheumatology and immunology. Good Lord. Anyway, on top of his 37-month prison sentence, the court ordered the Chinese researcher to pay more than $3.8 million in restitution to the National Institute of Health in Ohio State. Well, they caught him. They got him. They lock him up, and he did lock him up. Good morning, Michael Hatfield. Next, we got. This is fucking fantastic. Well, now. I'll put the, maybe I'll get on the screen this time too. Virginia Little League coaches must attend anti-racist training. Oh, this is going. It's just getting crazy. Positive Coaching Alliance chart. Oh, and now the positive. Oh no, not the PCA. I know all about the Positive Coaching Alliance. Charges up to $10,000 for diversity and inclusion training. Oh God, why? I used to run the local youth football league here in my town, and for 3 years I was the director, and but we didn't have the shit back then. Little League baseball coaches in Alexandria, Virginia will be required to take diversity, equity, and inclusion course this month. Here's the thing.
You know the thing.
When you run, or when you are in part of like youth sports, right? And people kind of choose their teams. Now, in some cases, the leagues let you choose your teams. Sometimes they just put teams together based on kind of where kids live, different schools, whatever. But when you get in, you're a coach in youth sports, you tend to be the kind of person who likes kids, and especially the kids who are really good at things, right? The kids who are the highest skilled kids are usually your players you really, you're excited about, even though you're trying to develop all the kids. It just seems that this seems like a crazy waste of time. But the Little League coaches and board members were asked to cancel practices in order to attend the Sports Can Battle Racism workshop on May 24th. Virginia school districts have mandated similar training for their teachers. Arlington County schools required teachers to participate in an equity training program in which they were taught how to create an actively anti-racist learning environment by separating all the kids out by race, probably. We read that story on Thursday. And of course, it's the London County schools. Oh my God. That district gets in the news more than way more than they need to. London County Schools spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on teacher training sessions based on critical race theory, the idea that American institutions are inherently racist. Yes, Little League Baseball is definitely an institution that is inherently racist because, God forbid, I'll tell you what, as a coach, sports is, kind of one of those things that, you don't give a shit how much melanin the kid has, being very melanin gifted or melanin challenged, right? It don't matter. If the kid can hit a baseball, you want him on your team. If the kid can run fast, you want him on your team. If the kid can throw a ball real hard at a catcher's mitt and hit it every time, you want him on your team. You don't really give a shit what the kid looks like. And in fact, in Little League, it could even be a girl. Just saying. They don't care if they can, because when they're that young, if they're young in Little League usually before like 4th or 5th grade, well, let's say about up until 3rd grade, kids' abilities, skills, strength, speed, and all that is pretty much still the same, right? I mean, I've been coaching kids from as young as 1st grade, as old as college students, right? I've coached in many sports in that range of ages. It's the same in every sport. Until about 3rd grade, everyone's skill and abilities and speed and whatever is roughly, the same. And then about 4th grade, then the boys just start taking off as far as, as their skill levels and strength, speed, whatever. And it never fails. There's always an exception. And then it's like, oh, well, this girl's really good. Yeah, she's as good as about 150 of the boys, but that's it. So anyway, they want to end competitive sport. I think they do. And so anyway, this workshop, let's see, document for coaches includes 6 core themes. 6 core themes in a anti-racism for Little League Baseball. From create a caring climate to model anti-racist behavior. Coaches are encouraged to teach themselves to perceive their own internalized racism. What if they're black? Huh? I have to perceive my own internalized racism? Oh, wait. Can't be. And look for potential institutional racism in the community? They're playing baseball! Good God. Anyway, you can read the rest of that article and maybe try and make sure you bring some, what's that stuff that stops you from throwing up that you can drink? Because this is the opposite. Real quick, thank you, ex-Bubba Hotep, who I read your super chat, but I didn't mention that it was from that. Thank you for the deuce and 23 more, which is another possible caliber for your AR. Who says I'm convinced they want to end competitive sports. I don't disagree. I think they do. I think they just want to, live woke and die early. Anyway. Gosh, I should not say shit like that, but I did. I said it out loud, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Anyway. All right, moving on. American Airlines is investigating a pilot. We're still in woke news right now. They're investigating a pilot after the woke mob reported him for opposing critical race theory. Do you see it's a theme here today in our woke news? Dramamine. Does Dramamine stop you? No, Dramamine stops motion sickness, doesn't it? I suppose. Well, yeah. Okay, I guess. Yeah, I suppose motion sickness can cause you to yak, and so yeah, I guess you're right. No, Doug, you can only be half racist. Yes, I can only be half racist. You are correct, being half of half of the my heritage is half melanin gifted and half melanin deficient, or not deficient. I shouldn't say deficient. Somebody give me another word for when you have a low amount of stuff versus a high amount of stuff. So gifted, you'd have a high amount. And the word that, you have a low amount, and it doesn't show up as much, but it's there, but it's just not prominent, because if you have to stay in the sun a lot, there's Yeah, Ipecac makes you vomit. Yeah, that's what that story was. That was the Ipecac story of the day. I should make a soundbite for that. It's the Ipecac story of the day. That was it. All right. American Airlines pilot investigated after Woke-Mon reported him. So here's what happened. Mary, who's Mary? Oh, Mary's a writer on Legal Insurrection. Reported earlier this month that voters in Texas' top school district resoundingly rejected critical race theory by electing 2 candidates to Carroll Independent School Board who opposed a proposal to implement it. Southlake, Texas, where the school district is located, became ground zero of sorts for the debate over implementation. Well, not deficiency. Kind of deficiency. That's what I'm trying. It's not that you don't have any, it's just have less. Anyway, ground zero for the debate over implementation of CRT in public school classrooms. A debate which started after videos of white students singing a rap song with the N-word in it went viral 2 years ago. Because proponents of CRT in Southlake have lost the latest battle, they've taken to try to get outspoken critics of the so-called Cultural Competence Action Plan, aka CRT, fired. There's the Dallas news story. I'll open that one too. You can have that one too, but I'll just finish on this. So American Airlines. Well, wait, let me say thanks to Gunfox. Thank you for another bullet, so to speak, of the 556, who says, speaking of competition, did you see that the German gymnast showed up at a competition in leggings? There's no need for high-cut leotards on a 16-year-olds with modern sports fabric technology. No, I did not see that. I've seen that before though, like where they have not leggings as in, I've seen some have seen the high leotards that go down to their ankles in competition. So I don't know, but yeah, I hear you. Thank you, Gunfox61 again for sponsoring the show. I appreciate it. So here's the story from the Dallas Morning News. American Airlines is investigating one of its pilots after social media users urged the company to review his post and podcast criticizing Carroll Independent School District's proposed diversity and inclusion initiative and its supporters. No. He opposed CRT. Not necessarily diversion. Well, I suppose that was their diversity inclusion initiative, but that's not what he was. It's fine to have some whatever you mean. Melanin averse. No, that means your melanin would hurt you. Hello, Richo and Gamer Valine, by the way. Why is Richo's already, you deleted your own. Wait, what? Hang on a second. Oh, okay. I don't care about that. that's just one of those things. But I appreciate you taking care of me. But it's okay. That's fine. I just don't want anyone insulting other people in my chat or taking pot shots at some of my friends. So anyway, no, that's okay. You don't have to do that. So anyway, all right. So Guy Midkiff, 62, is a Southlake resident who has been a pilot at American for 32 years, according to his LinkedIn profile. Quote, "We are troubled by the allegations made and have launched an investigation into the matter." An American Airlines representative said Wednesday in an email. Through his Twitter and Facebook accounts, as well as a podcast called Wise Guy Talks, Midkiff has documented his opposition to the district's Cultural Competence Action Plan, critical race theory, as well as various groups and community members who support it. 2 groups in support of the district's proposal plan have accused Midkiff of harassing people online. Midkiff has tweeted in response that the groups are using bully tactics to insulate themselves from those who challenge their narrative. Yeah, not surprising. Also, this past week, the groups have been bringing the matter to American Airlines' attention via social media. So they're trying to get him canceled from his job, basically. Here are some tweets. Okay, so some of the tweets are in here. Yeah, it's there. Oh my gosh. So this employee stands against American Airlines' commitment to inclusion and diversity. It's clear what he thinks about your training. Did he even have to participate, or is it just So oh my God, they can't take criticism. They cannot take criticism. Holy shit. And so they got more than one site coming at him. And now American Airlines is capitulating, or at least saying, thanks you for bringing this to our attention. Your comments have been shared with our leadership for internal review. Yeah, that's chilling. Yeah, they say chilling to the bone here. So FTG, my God, it's not FTG Thursday, but you know how that goes. And someone said F all diversity training. Yeah, I mean, diversity happens. It can't be forced. And I don't know. I mean, you can just, you know what? How about letting people just learn about each other and through natural assimilation. Chicago Mike, thank you again, by the way, for being a sponsor of the show. Chicago Mike says with a bullet. I'm just gonna call the 556 a bullet. Although 223 is a bullet, 357 is a bullet. They're all bullets, but this is a bullet. The 556 says, cancel culture strikes again. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But thank you again for sponsoring the show. I'm getting through this pretty fast. I'm doing pretty good. I'm almost there. I'm not halfway there, but I have a lot more. And then here's the Dallas Morning News article of the same type. So you can go ahead and check either one of those out. Thank you, Ex Bubba Hotep, who says, with another 556 with a bullet, I just really like this caliber of bounce round. Round is what I meant to say. Okay, I got you. Thank you, Ex Bubba Hotep. Again, continuing sponsor show. And Ex Bubba Hotep, by the way,
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day.
Thank you very much. Yes. All right. Let's see here. We've got. And so Van Morrison, you know, the singer-songwriter. So this is fascinating because Van Morrison has become a little bit more libertarian in his thinking over the last several years. I don't know if he was a liberal or conservative or whatever, but is not a fan of certain practices that we've adopted from the little garden gnome guy, right? And so he's been out there writing new songs, and now he has an album project, right? Van Morrison released a Rorschach test disguised as an album this week in the 28 tracks latest record project, Volume 1. 28 tracks. He's written 28 songs and put them on an album. The critics who regarded him alongside Bob Dylan and Leonard Cohen and Paul Simon now insist that he ranks somewhere between Morris, Albert, but above Fergie. Because, you know what? Don't mess with the liberals. The critic who, the Los Angeles Times calls latest recorded project, Volume 1, conspiratorially cranky. The Guardian dubs it as tinfoil millinery. You'll notice I have not posted links to these songs, announces the author of Goodbye Van Morrison on religionnews.com. Religionnews.com is trashing Van Morrison? Come on, man. After he references a half dozen songs by the Irish singer. There's a reason I no longer want to support Van Morrison's work. The forward accuses an album that never references Jews in any explicit or implicit way as anti-Semitic because it misreads an unstated antecedent to a pronoun and closes its banishment edict record review with the words, "You are hereby and forthwith canceled." Okay, that sentence was profoundly misguided. So anyway, and Morrison anticipated such a reaction. Critics bizarrely supporting or opposing music as they do policies in They Own the Media, he sings. They tell us that ignorance is bliss. I guess for those that control the media, it is. They own the media. They control the stories we are told. If you ever go against them, you will be ignored. Oh, how prophetic, or prophetic, however you want to say that word. It's a whole album. Just you'd have to go. Well, here let's see if they describe one of the songs. Then I'll let you read the rest of the article stuff. Western Man. Let's try Western Man. Western man has no plan because he became complacent. Where have all the rebels gone? It's not very rock and roll. Where have all the rebels gone? And he name dropped Nigel Farage, double blind. Have to police everyone's mind. Nowadays, you have to be careful of everything you say, leaving no ambiguity where Morris stands politically in relation to his detractors. So he's a free speech, anti-COVID restriction kind of guy these days, and now the critics are panning him, even though has a brilliant book of music that he's written over the years. So let's see. That's his. Oh, by the way, now let's get into some COVID news. Well, we might have to finish with this and leave the other stuff for later. Lots of COVID news. First of all, in Texas, remember everyone where they said, oh, everyone's going to die. They can't believe it's just Neanderthal thinking, right? Well, Texas reports 0 COVID deaths for the first time following Biden's Neanderthal thinking comment.
Come on, man.
After Texas allowed all businesses to reopen at full capacity back in March, President Joe Biden blasted the decision as a huge mistake, describing it as Neanderthal thinking. Last thing we need is Neanderthal thinking that in the meantime, everything's fine. Take it from us, forget it still matters, he said. Well, Governor announced today Texas reported 0 COVID-related deaths. The only time that's happened since data was tracked in March 2000. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. March 2020, the fewest COVID cases in over 13 months, the lowest 7-day COVID positivity rate ever, the lowest COVID hospitalizations in 11 months. Thank you, Texans. So, I guess they're not all going to die, are they? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I didn't have this on the screen. Here, I'll just scroll so you can look at. There's the governor, and yeah, no one first in a state as big as Texas, not a single COVID death yesterday. I wonder how Michigan's doing. Hang on. Moving on. More COVID news. Andrew Cuomo is in the news regarding COVID because his refusal to take the CDC's advice on masks shows his addiction to power. Him and Gretchen Whitler. Because now I am. Oh, by the way, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I am so happy right now as far as in my lovely state of Minnesota. Because usually, I would laugh because it was almost inevitable. No matter what Cuomo or Gavin Newsom did, 3 days later, my governor would do the same shit. So if they put a mask mandate in New York, 3 days later, here comes the one in Minnesota. If they said they're going to close restaurants for a while, blah, 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 3 days later, they do it here in Minnesota. If Gavin Newsom said we're going to just shut everything down, 3 days later, our governor would do it here in Minnesota. But guess what? My governor has removed all the COVID restrictions around the state, except for masks, which he says by July 1st. However, municipalities can choose to end their mask mandates in their buildings and shit like that if they choose. And my fair little suburb, third ring from the main 2 big cities, ended their mask mandate as of Thursday. No mask in my town, except for businesses that choose to have them. So, for example, when I go to Home Depot, they still require you to have masks in their stores. I don't know why, because our Walmart has a sign that says, if you've been vaccinated, you do not have to wear a mask, because that's what the CDC guidelines say. Now, I don't, look, I didn't give a shit anyway, because I wasn't wearing a mask outside or whatever. And I wore it only when I had to. Right? Only when I had to, and if I didn't have to, I wasn't wearing it. But it is true that my city doesn't have masks anymore. And we enjoyed it. In fact, we went to the Trail Stop Tavern on Saturday. And that was I didn't even hear about it. I found out at the Trail Stop, and I'm like, you don't have to wear masks anymore. Like, oh, fucking right. The bar was full. The restaurant was full. No one's wearing a mask. Although I noticed two people who were still putting their masks on when they went to the bathroom and then took it off when they got back to their table or bar stool. Just because I don't know if it's a habit. I'm like, okay, whatever. Who cares? All right. So anyway, New York Post, trust the science, right? Trust the science. She blinded me with science. Do. That's what Governor Andrew Cuomo has been telling us for the past year in justifying the draconian and crippling COVID measures enacted under his emergency powers. The restrictions are not his fault. He suggested he had to follow the directives for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. He had even endlessly claimed, disingenuously, that it was the CDC's guidance that led his order to forcing nursing homes to take COVID contagious patients. That is a lie. Hello, check your logic. And Avocados Diabli. I already said hi to you. I think maybe Devil's Advocate. I think so. Anyway, so now that the CDC has said vaccinated Americans have reprieve from wearing masks, the Emperor of New York says he knows better. Now it's screw the science, keep the mask on, and don't take them away until I say so, bitch. Well, that wasn't exactly it, but yeah. So Andrew Cuomo cannot give up his grip of power because he kind of likes it because he's I don't know. Anyway, thank you, ex-Bubba Hotep with the $4.99, who says these experts seem not to understand what a bottleneck is. If you close most things down, you just made everyone go to the same place. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But thankfully, in my state, we have some relief from these assholes who don't know what the hell they're talking about. Anyway, I did say that out loud. Good morning, Fight for Your Rights. They just got rid of the mask mandate in Alaska as well as of yesterday. Good, because that's what the CDC said. Now, I think my town jumped the gun against my governor because the governor hasn't said so yet for sure. Of course, they're like, again, you listen to Fauci or the CDC, they're like the weather in your state. Just wait a day or a while, or wait a couple hours, it might change. Yeah, that's kind of a Fauci thing. Anyway, more COVID news. Wuhan lab deleted. Remember we were talking about how they were talking about that. They were talking about how the gain of function research and stuff, and it's kind of related to Fauci's what is called something aid, that it was funding research in some guy here in the States, and then that guy was sending all his information to this Wuhan lab, and so they kind of made it look like they weren't really funding the Wuhan research, even though they really were, through this one particular guy who had the ties to the Wuhan lab in the United States. Well, also, the Wuhan lab deleted Fauci's name and gain of function mentions from their old web pages in early 2021. Some people were starting to figure this shit out, and they're like, oh, shit, somebody noticed. We better take this shit down, right? Good morning, John Smith. Say hi to Elizabeth Warren for me. I appreciate that. The Wuhan Institute of Virology scrubbed the U.S. National Institutes of Health as one of its research partners. Wait a minute. As one of its research partners. Remember that little dust up between Fauci and Rand Paul in there, that's sitting in front of it, and Rand Paul saying, hey, you guys were funding this research through the NIH. Research part, and Fauci said, no, none of that is true. Research partners, but Fauci said none of that was true, and this and that, and we don't fund gain of function research at all. Research partners. From its website in early 2021, the revelation comes despite Anthony Fauci's insisting no relationship existed between the institutions.
Wow.
Archive versions of the Wuhan lab site also reveal a research update. Will SARS come back? I'm opening that link. This is the archive of their site, if it pops up eventually. Look at this. This is from their site. And shit. Oh, looking at the bat. They even got a picture of a bat. Oh, you can't see that shit. Hang on. Let me fix that so you can see it. Bam. Yeah. Well, isn't that special? Okay. And there's a whole article about it. I've read it, but I don't want to. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, obviously, because I only got 6 minutes left. Oh, I better hurry up. Anyway, how about that? How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Also, Starbucks. So this is just kind of news based on, because the CDC now says, hey, if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. So a lot of companies are lifting their mask requirements, although Home Depot has not. But Walmart has. I was in Walmart yesterday. What did I get at Walmart? Oh, I bought some paper because the Office Max wasn't open, so I went there. Companies are lifting their mask mandates for their customers. Now, I did notice, though, when I was at Walmart, that most of the Walmart staff was still wearing masks, although a couple were had them hanging down off their nose and mouth, but they still had them on. So apparently they're making their staff wear them. But I walked around Walmart without a mask, and about half the people there were still wearing masks. Again, the big sign outside of Walmart says, immunized people can shop here without a mask now. So, ding. And I'm let's just say that I am, like Lady Boomer's, fully immunized. I have had it, so I'm taking that as a win. Anyway, although I don't think we should have been listening to them anyway. I don't think your freedom should have anything to do with whether or not someone knows your medical records or not. Feel me? Joe Biden is being asked questions about the origins of COVID-19, and it's funny because every day we get more news of why it came from a lab and not a wet market. And so now Republicans are asking him to come clean, although I don't think it's necessarily, Biden doesn't know which pants he's wearing or who picked them out for him. But he is the president, and the buck supposedly stops with him, and so they're asking him. And because, Fauci's very evasive on answers. So that's interesting. Moving on. Let's see. Oh, and then this diner owner. So people have been snitching on this diner guy. He owns a diner in California. And so a bunch, or not, I'm sorry, not California, Washington State. Owner of a Puget Sound area diner has turned the tables on tattletales who called the Washington State COVID-19 snitch line to report that people are eating. Craig Kennedy's savage and proportional reply to his critics may make them think twice before calling Governor Jay Inslee's COVID snitch line on that one place diner again. Tattletales have made 260 plus complaints to Inslee's COVID violation line about the car-themed restaurant at a Port Orchard strip mall since May 2020, when Kennedy defied the governor's rules about shutting down. Kennedy's liquor license has been suspended, and he incurred more than $130,000 in fines for staying open. A sign announces that the diner is now on the governor's most wanted list. So this is the picture. Jay Inslee has declared this home danger zone. All are welcome, mask optional. So anyway, he did. What did he do here? He said, well, here's his quote. My wife and I have been in conversation a lot about opening anyway, because we were starting to struggle to pay our bills, and my employees, they couldn't make any money just off being takeout only. I have 45 staff members, and so our sales to be cut like that, it's impossible for them. So we had a crew chat, and we brought it up to our staff and asked them what they thought, and everybody wanted to work. They were 100% in. But as an employer of last resort for people on probation and in recovery, Kennedy told the KIRO radio host he believes he had a greater obligation to his employees than most. You can imagine somebody that's in recovery, some of them just a month or two in recovery, cannot sit at home and collect a paycheck off the government, not relapse. So then we're talking about what could be actually people's lives at stake here, because he hires a bunch of people who are recovering from addictions and things like that. So he needed to have them working. And so anyway, so these people are all tattling on him, right? And they had all different kinds of things. So Kennedy previously posted. He would post the list on his doors of everyone who reported him because it's public information, and so yeah, people can complain thinking it's anonymous, but it's not anonymous. It's a public record, and so he was posting their public records on his doors. So good for him. Fuck those people. Thank you, Chicago Mike, with the bullet of the 556 variety. So we are going to show proof that we've been vaccinated if we choose not to wear a mask. No! Hell to the no! In fact, Walmart specifically is not asking. You know what? It's on the honor system. Moving on, let me finish up the COVID news, and then I'm going to have to call it a day, even though I have a few extra articles. I have to empty Ace here. Let's see, we're at this one. Oh, just this article. I'm not going to read this one, but it's an article from the American Thinker of how Fauci's kind of becoming unmasked. We're starting to learn a lot about Fauci, like about his avoiding Vietnam by going to the National Institute of Health, about how, he hasn't practiced medicine since 1968. He got his medical degree in 1966. 1968, he went into the National Institute of Health as a way to avoid being a medical doctor in Vietnam. They called them the Yellow Berets, right? But also just about his because he's been the director of the National Institute of Health since 1984, right? And we're starting to learn just about how his kind of lackluster response to AIDS actually may have exacerbated the problem. Stuff with all kinds of stuff that he's done. So this one, and then this gain of function research stuff that he claims that the National Institute of Health had nothing to do with, and yet, if you really look at it, yeah, they funded it in Wuhan. So anyway. But the answer is no, we're not going to show proof. Thank you. Oh, again, by the way, thanks again, Chicago Mike. Appreciate you. All right. And then let's see. Is this one? I think this is, and this one, yeah. So the media over the weekend are still hanging on to fear porn regarding COVID and fret the new CDC. They're mad because the CDC guideline relies on honor systems. And they are united in determining that no one has the right has honor. I say, in the immortal words of, who was it that said that? Ricardo Montalban. And in the immortal words of Ricardo Montalban, go fuck yourself. Nobody cares what you think, assholes. When the entirety of the Democrat activist media trots out the same term and story, you can be sure what follows will be a call for bigger, biggest government. Latest example comes in the wake of the CDC finally stating the obvious that it's okay not to wear a mask if you've been vaccinated against the disease that comes from this country of origin that shall not be named. The Democrat propagandist arm are raising the alarm that this policy relies on the honor system, and they fret that pesky right-wing, non-woke loser terrorists have no honor. Here's just a sample of the various woke. Okay, let me try that again. Here's just a sampling of the various woke rags warning of this honor system travesty the CDC has unleashed and on us unsuspecting but vaccinated public. From the Washington Post, new mask guidelines relies on an honor system. Do we trust each other enough to make it work? From the New York Times, COVID live updates, major U.S. retailers drop mask requirements. From KGW8, anybody can say they got vaccinated. How the honor system factors into the new CDC mask guidance. And The Atlantic, America is on a COVID-19 vaccine honor system. Oh, they all use the same damn language. And then they all lament to how that's wrong, and we need to put Republicans and people on the right and Proud Boys in the gulag. FTG. Real quick, I got time. Let me just do this next one. This is this has nothing to do with COVID. We're done with the COVID section of the show, and I didn't get to this fast enough. But apparently, there's an ethics complaint filed over Congress members using air marshals for their own personal protection Maxine Waters. Serial riot instigator, Maxine Waters. Now, that's not fair. Come on, PJ Media. Traveling to Minneapolis for the Derek Chauvin trial, requested 2 federal air marshals on her plane and more for added security when she landed. This, in addition to the 2 armed Capitol Police officers and 2 Secret Service agents that flew with her to the Twin Cities party for the reading of the Derek Chauvin triple guilty verdict. Not only is this a double dose of hypocrisy, but it's not allowed. Since January 6th, the January 6th insurrection. Insurrection. Some members of Congress on both sides of the aisle have requested extra muscle whether traveling home to their districts or on vacation. The Transportation Security Administration, TSA, is in charge of the FAMs, Federal Air Marshals, and have been diverting undercover air marshals from high-risk security flights to babysit frightened Congress non-binaries. This creates a national security gap and angers air marshals whose mission is to protect the public. Yeah, F that, and I don't care what party you're from. Just stop that shit and stop wasting taxpayer money, and you better reimburse us. But especially police defender Maxine Waters. Quote, Congresswoman Maxine Waters utilized a number of government resources inappropriately. Federal air marshals removed from high-risk flights to cover Ms. Waters' flight to Minnesota. The complaint reads, the high-risk flight took off with no armed law enforcement on... there was a high-risk flight that same day that took off with no armed law enforcement on board, leaving a gap in national security. Oh, God, I hate these people. And not just this, not these people. What do you mean by these people? Not these people, not, Congress critters, all of them. Who, if they did this, I hate them. Fuck them. There's also an article about Cori Bush and her faith healers. Cori Bush has been curing COVID over the phone with some kind of faith healing mumbo jumbo. You can read that one on your own. And then what's left here? Oh, potato! The potato, yes. Would it be better if a real potato hosted reliable sources rather than Brian Stelter? I find it a humorous little opinion piece here that you can read on your own. And then what else I got? I'm going to skip that one for now. Oh, so there's a USA Today editor who says that the Republicans ousting Liz Cheney are a greater threat than the 9/11 hijackers. Marinate on that for a second, and I'm going to keep going because I got to get done. Oh, yeah. Okay, so in Paris, there's been a lot of pro-Palestinian protesters, and they were getting a little rowdy, and the Paris French police and whatnot said, fuck it, get out of our street, and they fired tear gas. And so, because the protest was banned by police at the request of Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin, who cited fears of it turning violent like similar protests in 2014. So they said, yeah, we're gonna just say stop this shit and get out. And so it turned into an Antifa event, and then they did a lot of water hose and whatever. And I don't know, because protests aren't as well, I was gonna say peaceful here or there than here, but they have car burnings like all the time during their protests. So maybe that's why. But that's kind of related to this too. Pro-Palestinian convoy in London includes the chant "Fuck the Jews, rape their daughters." If you didn't see the video, it's there's a video of it. This is the Twitter, but I'm not going to show it. But yeah, they're shouting out loudspeakers how they should fuck the Jews, fuck their wives, fuck their this and do this and rape their daughters and yada yada yada. Not a pleasant message, just saying. And then what was the last one here I had that I'm not going to get to? Oh yes. So CNN kind of copied what I did over the last week when I made pictures of gas lines from the 70s, compared them to gas lines in the 2021 era. And so this person had searing visuals of gas, and this is only a minute long, so we'll do this one. Here's this is CNN. Oh, shit. It gave me the ad again. Hang on. I don't want the ad. Is there a way to skip the ad? Oh, God, it's 26 seconds long. All right, tell you what. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to wait till that ad goes away, and I'm going to start my spiel. But besides, this would be a good time. This would be the perfect time, in fact, if you have not hit the like button yet. This would be the time to do it because I'm killing time here with the 17 seconds of ad. How long is this ad? It's another, it's going another, how long is this?
I mean,
there we go. Here we go.
All this is happening domestically here in the United States. You have these really, I think, searing visuals. If you're of a certain age, particularly, brings you back to. I mean, I think Republicans would love to bring people back to the Carter years, but these gas lines, it's a psychological problem. Maybe it's temporary, but for the American public, there's something psychological about hearing about inflation and seeing gas lines and literally going to the pump in certain southern states and not being able to get gas.
Yeah, and
sure
I think
does.
one of the reasons you had the executive order last week dealing with cybersecurity, because obviously this was a breach, and that is one of the reasons this problem started. But every time there's a Democratic president, there are, without this current crisis going on with gas prices becomes an issue in the summertime. It is, you can set your watch by it.
Right.
Whether this actually
didn't happen during Trump's summer times, did it?
Long run.
How long ago were we energy independent?
That question yet?
Huh? Okay, that's okay. I need to stop. No, I don't need that music on my screen. And we'll finish on that light note, gang. I got to say, thank you so much for being here today on the Morning Night Live. Hit the like button, hit the share button, throw a comment in the comment section. And hey, you can hit that Streamlabs link any time of day or night. Plus on the Streamlabs site, PDawgKnight.live, my merch tab there has the Fauci gear on it. And that's all I have on my merch tab. I'm coming up with some ideas for more merch kind of stuff, but it's just not a big part of my thing yet. But I'll get there. But anyway, thank you so much for today's sponsors of the show, including Tarai Deos, Ex-Bubba Hotep, Gunfox 61, Gamer Valine, Chicago Mike, and I think that's everybody. Also, thanks to everyone who was able to be in the chat today. If you watched on kind of in the background because you're lurking or working or driving, I appreciate you too. And if you're watching on replay, throw a comment in the comment section to let me know you were here. I appreciate every single one of you, but it is that time where I need to go. So thank you everybody for being a supporter of the Dawg Knight channel. My name is PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.